So I moved to Argentina in August of 2011, and the first two places I lived in were in the neighborhood of Recoleta in the same building. And the first place was this beautiful big apartment on the 11th floor overlooking Plaza Vicente. But I couldn't afford to live there for longer than a few weeks. So I moved to the place behind it because it was dirt cheap and it was in the same neighborhood. But it was just this tiny, cramped apartment that overlooked nothing. And I mean, from my window, all I could see was the back of another building that was maybe, 30, 40 feet away. And in between my building and that one was nothing, like maybe a courtyard underneath. And I remember when I first moved in there, I wasn't very comfortable, even though it was really clean. It was just so small, and there's nothing in there. There's a bed and some drawers, and there was a little microwave in the closet. That was my kitchen, a little microwave and a tiny little sink. And so I got these candles from the grocery store, these tiny religious candles, and I lit them the first night I was there, and I took a photo to show people back home what my second home looked like. And I remember seeing what to me looked like a glare from the candle on the window, and but the thing was, there was no glass right there. I had opened the window, and so later I was thinking, what is that light hitting? So I opened it in my computer, and I zoomed in on it, and then I took it into Photoshop, and I played around with the levels, and this face emerged, and I did not know what to make of it. Because I could see it pretty clearly. It looks like a mask, and yet it looks real, like the mouth. I don't know, the way the light is hitting it, I can see a full mouth and a very crooked nose, and the eyes, I can see it looks like he's just looking off into the right, and it has really thick hair, I think. Either that or it's like a mask. I really don't know. And also there seems to be something behind it, maybe a pair of eyes, or maybe that's just something to do with the camera, or I don't know. To me it looks like a maybe a dog behind him, but I don't know. What really stands out really is the face. And I remember posting this on Facebook, and I remember having a feeling of resignation because I realized as soon as I posted it that, photographs are not proof. Like, someone else is going to look at that, and they're going to think something was wrong with my camera, or maybe I just missed something. I remember one of my friends said maybe it's an owl. There's an owl on my windowsill. And I can see where he would have thought that, like it's certainly easier than thinking there's a face there. You know, I mean, it would be a weird looking owl, but that would make sense. And yet, since I took the photograph, I know that there was no owl there. I wouldn't. I would have focused on the owl had there been an actual owl there. You know, but there was nothing. There was just blackness outside my window. And I remember one night when I was sleeping there, maybe a week after I'd moved in there, and I was lying in bed, and I remember seeing this like this swirl of smoke. It was this big swirl of smoke. I can't explain it any other way. Like it just looked like smoke coming out of like an old-fashioned coal-powered train, like that kind of black smoke. But within it were these shiny particles. I don't know. There was something shiny inside of it, or throughout it, and I remember it flew through my room and straight through the wall into the next apartment. And I remember not being afraid. I remember that, like, and thinking how strange that I wasn't afraid, because I didn't get any bad feeling from it. You know, it was something. It was I don't know, a spirit or another soul or whatever, but I didn't feel like it wanted to harm me or anything. You know, it was just there, you know. And I remember when I first moved to this city, and I was in the other apartment, and I was lying in bed too one night, and I remember imagining, or I thought it was my imagination, that there was something down there that was curious about me, and it flew up from that apartment into the one I was in, the bigger, nicer apartment, and it stood at the foot of my bed and looked at me, and then it flew out the big window. And I honestly thought it was just something I imagined, but looking back, I really don't know, because it's not like I see ghosts all the time, or I can sense these things. Like, it was maybe because I was in a new city, I was in a totally new situation. I had just left the US. I had sold most of my possessions, and I'd come there with only one suitcase and a carry-on, and that was all my worldly possessions. And so I was feeling really vulnerable, and I guess it was but also I was feeling extremely open to whatever happened. You know, I was just starting a new life there, and I was excited and scared at the same time. And I don't know, I would love to know what this was, or if it really is an owl. But I don't know, I can't explain that one. So this next photo I took sometime during 2012, after I had finally found a place I wanted to stay long term in Palermo, Hollywood. And with the help of my Spanish teacher, I had found this really nice apartment in this brand new building. It was so brand new that I was the only person living in there, and it was great though. A little creepy, but great. Everything was brand new. No cockroaches to speak of. And I really loved it, except I had to fill the place up with myself. And so at the time I took this photo, all I had in there was my bed, a desk, and a couple of desk chairs. And so normally, when my computer is off, you would see nothing but the wall, because there was nothing in there yet. But I remember I was drawing on my bed, and I had this really strong feeling that I was being looked at, and that would, but the feeling wasn't coming from like outside. Like I had these big windows, and anyone from outside could look in, but the feeling wasn't coming from there. It was coming from my computer. So it was just so weird that I took a photo, and this is what I saw. And what I see is what looks like E.T. looking at me, like E.T. from the movie, the Steven Spielberg movie, and but there's nothing cute or cuddly about this E.T. It's really creepy looking, and depending on where you look on the computer screen, it looks like there are multiple faces looking at me, and I have no idea why that happened. It was just it was I don't know, maybe it was the fear of living alone in that creepy, in this completely empty building, and being in this new country by myself where I couldn't speak the language yet. And also I had been listening to some scary podcasts before that and some of them had to do with aliens and alien abductions, some stupid things like that. And I don't know, like I don't know if that's true or not, but I remember that what I heard scared me, and maybe that influenced my imagination. And but why that would create this photo, I can't explain that. Honestly, it feels like if there are aliens, like somehow they knew I had been listening to those scary podcasts, and they were just like poking fun at me in a strange way. Like if you look in the bottom part of the screen, you can see what looks like you can see this shiny thing. It looks like a chair, except if you look towards the right, towards my computer chairs, they're made of leather. They're both black. They look nothing like whatever that is in the screen. So I don't know what that could be, if it was something within my apartment, because all I had at the time was just this desk, those two chairs, and my bed, and that was it. And yeah, and a few other things that happened in that apartment. Like the first week I moved in there, I remember having a dream one night that some man walked into my apartment and laid down next to me, and then he put his arms around me and started to squeeze, and my initial reaction was to panic, but then I had the thought that I should just relax, that this was just that this was just a nightmare. And so I did. I completely relaxed, and he went away. So I don't know what that was about. I think it was just the stress of moving into that place and being this new situation and so forth. And yeah. So for this last photo, I took this, when was it? I think 2015 or 16. And I took it within the park in Palermo. There's this huge park called Rosedal, next to the train tracks, and there's a carousel right there. And so I was taking a walk there at night, and I always have my phone or my camera with me, and so I'm always taking photographs because I use it as an artist for either reference or I sell it online in my Photoshop, my photo online shop. And so I saw the carousel, and they were just about to close down, and I really liked the lights. And so I took this photo, and I remember having a weird feeling about it, and I wasn't sure why. I mean, because I didn't see anything initially within it. I mean, there's so much going on in here, and so I took it into my computer and zoomed in on it and just looked around, and then I saw this face, this very colorless face, looking at me, and I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it looks like so a middle-aged man with a receding hairline who's just staring at me, and what he was doing there, or what, or maybe it was like my eyes playing tricks on me, you know, like, because there's so many designs in this photo that, like, maybe I was like, oh, maybe there's some decoration on that wall there that in this light looks like a face, but the face looks like it's apart from the wall, like it's apart from, like it's in front of the horse's tail, and it's just weird. I can see the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and the mouth looks like it's slightly open, like it might have been talking. So yeah, I don't know why it would show up in my photo. Like, maybe there was some spirit there that wanted to be noticed and decided to make an appearance in my photo. I really don't know. Or maybe it's just a trick of the eye or something wrong with my camera. I really can't say. Like, I can't take any of this as proof of anything. It's just something weird that happened to me, you know? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and these photographs. I know they're not the scariest stories, but I've taken thousands of photos over the years, and it's weird that these are the only ones that there have been anything strange that I've noticed anyway in them, except for like maybe the when I first got a cell phone. I remember I got one of those LGs, and I was moving out of my my apartment in California, and it was just before I left for Argentina, actually, and I had that weird feeling again that I was being looked at, like, and so I took a photograph towards the direction where I sensed something, and in the photo was this huge head, like a man's head, smiling at me, and beside him was this little girl who was crying, and it was like they were made of air, like the Predator, you know, like there was no substance to them. And I remember being so freaked out that I deleted the photos, and now I totally regret that, because I would have loved to have been able to look at that later, and just to see if it was just my imagination or what. But I remember before I took those photos, like every night I would hear someone walking around in my apartment, and I lived in a really small place, so I would hear it like walk towards my kitchen and then kind of stand around there, and then at night when I was going to sleep I would hear it walk out again. But I kept telling myself it was just my imagination, because I lived in an older building and the floors were made of wood, and I just thought maybe someone downstairs was walking around or whatever. And because you just don't know, like it was just too weird. And so yeah, I do regret deleting that photo now. But yeah, so out of all the thousands of photos I've taken over the years, these are the only ones with anything weird in them. So oh, on another note, in Argentina, we don't have Halloween here, so in a way this is my way of celebrating Halloween, because they don't decorate, they don't do trick-or-treating. There's like, they have no idea what Halloween for people in the US is all about. And you see, like, they have in some nightclubs, they dress up and they wear costumes, and that's what Halloween is here. But there's no candy, there's no horror movies. So in a way I feel like Halloween really sucks here. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Bye.